The morning my parents were supposed to leave on their anniversary cruise, my phone lit up with 22 missed calls. The night before, my father had texted, "We just thought it might be better without you." I didn't argue, didn't beg, didn't even ask why. I simply wrote back, "All right then." They mistook my silence for surrender. But when the cruise line refused to let them board, they finally understood what silence can cost. Because this wasn't about money. It was about the moment the family problem stopped paying for peace. My name is Clara West, and for most of my life, family harmony was something I had to purchase. If I paid for the vacations, the dinners, the gifts, we could all pretend we liked each other. That was the deal. So when my parents' 40th anniversary came around, I did what I'd always done. I handled it. 2 upgraded cabins, spa packages, excursions, champagne on arrival, even a hotel stay the night before so Mom wouldn't complain about early flights. $12,000 gone with a few clicks. I told myself it wasn't about the money. It was about giving them a memory, a picture-perfect moment to post and call it love. Mom, Helen, was obsessed with appearances. She wanted perfection, matching outfits, glowing captions, the illusion of gratitude. Dad, Thomas, played the calm mediator, the kind who avoided confrontation until it exploded. My sister Lena was the fragile one, the eternal victim we all tiptoed around. And my youngest sibling, Noah, only 16, still believed family meant safety. I used to believe that too. A week before departure, our family group chat went quiet. No packing lists, no chatter, just stillness. I texted Mom a cheerful, "Can't wait, red heart." She replied hours later with "Same here," and nothing else. Lena never replied at all. Even Noah's usual stream of jokes stopped. The silence had a sound, like the hum before a power outage. 2 nights before the trip, I called Dad to confirm flight times. He sounded oddly upbeat, like someone reading from a script. "Oh, we've arranged our own shuttle," he said casually. Something twisted in my gut. "What shuttle?" A long pause, then the line that changed everything. "We just thought it might be better without you." The words dropped like stones. Better without me. After everything I'd done. I hung up slowly, the phone heavy in my hand. My boyfriend, Eli, looked up from the couch. He didn't need to ask. He could read the truth in my face. I typed 2 words in the chat. "Sure thing." That night, I didn't sleep. I just sat staring at the dark screen, remembering all the times I'd paid for their peace, for their fake smiles. By morning, I'd made a decision. No more rescuing. Let them manage their own perfection for once. At 7 a.m., the first voicemail arrived. Mom's voice, sharp and frantic. "Clara, this is ridiculous. They won't let us board without the cardholder present. Call them right now." I took a slow sip of coffee. "No," I whispered to the empty kitchen. "I really don't." The calls kept coming, 22 of them. On the 23rd, I finally picked up. "We're standing here with our bags like criminals," she shrieked. "You should have thought about that before deciding I wasn't worth inviting," I said evenly. "You're humiliating us." "No, Mom. You did that yourselves." And I hung up. 3 hours later came the pounding at the door. Hard, angry knocks that rattled the frame. Eli stood beside me at the top of the stairs. "Want me to handle it?" he asked. I shook my head. "No, I want to see their faces." Mom burst in first, perfume, pearls, and fury. Dad followed, quiet but complicit. "This is childish," she snapped. "Do you have any idea how you embarrassed us?" "I think I do," I said softly. Dad raised his hands. "Let's not yell. We just need to talk this out." That phrase again, their favorite code for "you'll take the blame." Eli stepped forward, calm, barefoot, unbothered. "You don't get to insult her in her own home," he said quietly. "And you don't get to steal from her either." Mom's mouth fell open, then slammed shut. She muttered something about ungrateful children and stormed out. Dad trailed after her, saying nothing. The silence that followed wasn't peaceful. It was honest. For 3 days, no calls. No apologies. Just quiet. The kind that feels like a wound finally clotting. On the 4th morning, my phone buzzed again. 22 missed calls. Then another one, live this time. I answered. "They won't let us board," Mom cried. "The cruise says the cardholder must be present. This isn't funny." I set down my mug. "That's strange," I said. You told me it would be better without me. This isn't about that, she snapped. You're making us look ridiculous. No, Mom, I said calmly. You did that yourselves. And I ended the call. Eli watched from the counter, a quiet smile forming. Consequences, he murmured. Exactly. By noon, they were pounding on my door again. Mom's hair frizzed, Dad's shirt creased. She didn't even wait to be invited in. Do you realize what you've done? They treated us like scammers. Maybe next time don't commit credit card fraud, I replied. Her jaw dropped. Excuse me? You used my card to pay for a trip I wasn't even on. That's theft, Mom. Dad stepped forward, hands raised again. Sweetheart, let's just talk this out. There it is again, I said. The phrase you use when you want me to fix everything. You embarrassed us, Mom hissed. No, I said, meeting her eyes. I stopped funding the performance. Eli came down the stairs, calm as ever. She finally learned not to pay for her own humiliation, he said softly. Mom's face twisted, but she had no reply. She turned on her heel and stormed out again. The door slammed. I didn't flinch. For once, the silence that followed didn't ache. It settled like peace. 3 days later, Dad texted, dinner. Just you. We need to talk. No apology. Just a summons. Eli offered to come, but I told him to wait across the street. He nodded, understanding the difference between rescuing and witnessing. Their porch light was already on when I arrived, glowing too bright, too staged. Inside, the table gleamed. Wine glasses, folded napkins, even the bottle of champagne I'd given them last Christmas. Lena greeted me first, smiling like she was posing for a picture. Noah didn't look up. His shoulders were tight, trapped. Mom appeared next, wearing a hostess smile stretched too wide. Dad took his seat at the head, hands folded, eyes careful. We made small talk, the kind that breaks on contact. After a few bites, Dad leaned back, signaling the real conversation had begun. It's a shame the cruise didn't work out, he said lightly, as if the weather had canceled it. But your mother found something even better, a resort in Palm Springs. 5 nights. Spa, infinity pool. It'll be good for everyone. Mom slid a glossy brochure across the table like a sales rep. If we all split it, it'll be easier for you. Easier for me. Always me. I kept my face still. Who's paying? Dad chuckled. You handle logistics so well. It just makes sense. Lena nodded. You always make things easier, Clara. My stomach tightened. Noah's voice came out small but clear. They won't stop. Mom's glare snapped to him. Enough. I pushed my chair back. I'll think about it. Outside, the air felt clean again. Eli waited in the car, engine off. I got in without a word. We drove home in quiet, the safe kind. The next morning, a gift bag appeared on my doorstep. Gold paper, white bow, too perfect. I carried it inside, set it down, and stared at it. Eli raised an eyebrow. Do we open it or call it what it is? I opened it. Inside, a letter, a glossy pamphlet, and a printed confirmation. 5-night villa, Desert Sky Resort. Guest, Clara West. I flipped to the payment line. Card ending in 4802. My card. They'd done it again. Used my stored details from the cruise booking. Eli saw my expression. What happened? They booked it under my name, I said. And it's non-refundable. He looked at me for a long moment. So what do you want to do? They expect me to cancel, I said. To fix it again. Then don't, he said simply. It clicked inside me like a key turning. We packed light, sunscreen, paperbacks, sunglasses. I forwarded the booking confirmation to my own email. My name, my card, my rules. The flight to Palm Springs was short. The desert air hit like a warm sigh. The resort shimmered in glass and stone. At the desk, the woman smiled. Welcome, Ms. West. Hearing my name said with respect instead of demand made something inside me loosen. She handed over the keys. 10 minutes later, I was standing in a suite big enough to hold a past life. Linen curtains, soft music, and a private plunge pool overlooking the canyon. Eli whistled. This is incredible. It should be, I said. I paid for it twice. We did nothing for 2 days. Ate breakfast on the terrace, hiked trails that smelled like sage, fell asleep to the hum of desert wind. For the first time in years, my silence wasn't punishment. It was peace. On the third morning, I turned my phone back on. Notifications flooded in, missed calls, messages, voicemails. The first one made me laugh. "Clara, are you serious? The resort says someone already checked in under your name." Mom's voice cracked with outrage. Dad's message followed. "Your mother is upset. We didn't think it would go this far." It had gone exactly as far as they'd pushed it. Then a voicemail from Lena. "They won't let them in. They said the reservation is locked under you. This is low." I hit record and left one message in return. "You used my card. This is what happens when you steal." By afternoon, the story had spread. My cousin posted a photo captioned "Family first, always." Underneath, someone asked, "Where's Clara?" Mom replied, "She chose not to come. We don't know why. She's been acting strange." I didn't feel anger anymore, just the exhaustion of recognition. Then a message from Noah appeared. "They're lying. I'm sorry." He attached a photo of the old cruise invoice, my name, my payments. Then wrote, "I'm telling the truth this time." "You don't owe me that," I replied. "Just take care of yourself." Within hours, relatives started asking questions. I sent screenshots, receipts, proof. Facts speak louder than family spin. That evening, Eli poured sparkling water, and we sat watching the canyon glow gold. "You know what this feels like," he said. "Like when the bully realizes the teacher's been standing behind them the whole time." I smiled. "The teacher is the terms and conditions." He laughed softly. "Exactly." The next morning, Dad called again. "We didn't think it would go this far. Your mother's upset." "You used my money," I said. "That was a misunderstanding," he replied. "You mistook my silence for permission," I said, then ended the call. An hour later, an envelope slid under our door. Heavy cardstock, my mother's handwriting. "We didn't mean for it to go this far. Sorry if we crossed a line." No check, no refund. Just an attempt to restore control. I set the card down, slipped into the pool, and let the water erase the noise. When we flew home, the air felt lighter. No more tension hiding in corners. Just quiet that belonged to me. By spring, their social media went dark. No family photos, no quotes about forgiveness. The performance had collapsed. Now, when people ask if I miss my parents, I tell the truth. I miss the idea of them, the version I paid for, not the reality that kept taking. The real loss wasn't the cruise or the money. It was the years I spent believing love had to be earned through suffering. These days, Eli and I host small community talks called Peace and Boundaries. We share stories about what it means to stop paying for love that hurts. Sometimes, after everyone leaves, I sit by the window, the desert sky still glowing in my mind, wide gold and finally quiet. Because peace isn't the absence of sound. It's the moment you stop explaining yourself to people who never listened. If you've ever held your family together until it broke, tell me in the comments. Maybe your silence has power too.